recap.
Recap, okay. I was also in Warsaw and Krakow. Yeah. Yes.
Just set us up here and then.
So you do it through the camera in the Mac?
This is like we archive videos online. This goes to YouTube, and this is a live sort of stream.
If I hear back, I'll let you know. If not, we'll be here either tomorrow or next month.
Amen.
Travel edition. I've never seen this before. Can you see this?
Gotta learn on the road.
The travel
Oh, it's
edition.
Rosh Hashana. Fittingly.
Well, it's better than carrying the buses around these big books. Yeah,
Yes, but look how small it is.
it's not that small. I mean, the type is pretty readable.
I'll sing a bit before we get in here.
Oh yes, let's do it.
So we're gonna learn again tonight from this piece in Derech HaMelech, from Rosh Hashana, first night of Rosh Hashana, Tefresh Tzadi Aleph, 1930, Rosh Hashana. I'll give a little recap what we covered, just so we're all on the same page. The Rebbe opens with a question on a drasha of Chazal. The rabbis say that month that the moon is covered is the month when we blow the shofar. that first Rosh Hashana. Whatever I say, because Rosh Hashana, as opposed to our other holidays that take place in the full moon, right? All of the regalim, basic Pesach, Sukkot, Shavuot, it's a different story, but the middle of the month is kind of our time to celebrate. For Rosh Hashana, we celebrate at a time when there's absolutely no moon, the darkest night of the cycle. And it's that time when the moon is, so to speak, covered, right? It's covered over with darkness. That's when we blow the shofar. So the first question he has is like, what's that about? Because it sounds as if there's some kind of relationship between the covered over moon, the darkened sky, and the blast of the shofar. What might that have to do with each other? He asked in general terms, what's the whole idea or concept of judgment of this day? Right, this is the day of judgment, Yom Hadin. And he also brought a source from the Tikkunei Zohar that says that what's happening on Rosh Hashanah is that the souls are immersing themselves in some river, the Nar Dinur, and being cleansed of their filth. This is an image brought from the Tikkunei Zohar. And so he asks a similar question. It sounds like the judgment or whatever's happening this time is not just judgment, but it's also some kind of cleansing, some kind of purification process. So those were his opening questions. I'm not going to cover everything we touched on last week, but one pretty remarkable idea he brought up for us based on other parts of the Tikkunei Zohar are that he says all of our fallenness, all of our nefilot, all of our sinfulness, even what it arises from in this day and age being, he says, even from the times of the destruction of the temple, is that God, so to speak, chased away the Shekhinah. The Shekhinah left the building, literally and figuratively. Mrs. Zohar gives the image of the mother bird, the mitzvah of Shiluach HaKan, the mother bird who's shooed away from the children. So he's basically saying to us, if the mother bird left the nest and you're left there on your own, you don't have strong, and again, these are the images, you don't have strong enough wings to fly. You're going to continue to fall. There is no net to catch us, to hold us, to nourish us, to keep us protected, to keep us inside. Right? All that imagery. So he says all chet, all nefilah, all fallenness is a product of being distanced from God by God. And he says, so our primary, the main thing we need to do is basically turn to God and beg and cry and scream, God, why did you abandon us? These are the words he brings from Tehillim. Keli lama zatani, why have you left me? And he speaks about it much more beautifully than I'm doing right now. I'm just giving us a recap. But he says, from every individual prayer we ever say, it's about business or my toes hurting or like I'm in a fight with somebody or I'm feeling down. Any prayer that I say, the core of all of our prayers is God, why did you? God, why have you abandoned us? Why is our world vacant? Why am I stranded here, exiled? Why is our world in exile? And he goes on to speak about what is tshuva. What is tshuva in this concept? What is the tshuva? Turning to God is not really about the particular things that we think that we did wrong. It's not really about me saying, okay, this was a mistake. If I just do this a little better, then we'll be all okay. And I know I'm not so strong in this area, and if, sorry about that. The classic mode of tshuva and the vidu and the confession, all the details. He beautifully brings this Gemara that says, "Chatzif alay man mefarish chatoi." One of the Chachamim of the Gemara said, "It's chutzpah for somebody to specify their sins." Now, in the context there, the general understanding of that statement is it's a brazen act to go around saying, "Oh, and I did this wrong, and I also do this all the time, and you should see me on Thursday night." So that's what the original context is. But he brings it here to say it's chutzpah. In this context, it's chutzpah because what you think if you just kind of fix your five big mistakes, then besides for those things, I'm all good. I'm a big tzaddik. I have a couple areas that are like, I'm not so good. Like the whole thing is about me and how good I am or not am. And he's saying that whole paradigm is nonsense because it's missing the point. The point is this abandonment, this disconnect, this detachment between us as individuals and the Creator, between our world and its Creator. There's and he uses the word aziva, an abandonment. And if we're not addressing that, we're missing the whole point. And our tshuva has to really just come from that place of, we want to come close to you again. We can't continue like this. You can't continue like this. And
So you have to come close to us?
we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there because there's a machloket of sorts of God saying, Shuvu elai v'ashuv aleichem. The prophet says, you come back to me and I'll come back to you. And us saying, Hashivenu Hashem elechem, and I should bring us back to you and we'll come back. We'll get, he'll address that. But the basic orientation is not about what are the things that are right or wrong, or where am I, check off my list of good and bad.
Well, it always is kind of, shocking to read all the sins, and I mean, nobody actually feels that they've done everything. I mean, well, someone once said it's like covering sins of all the people everywhere.
They're spoken in the plural. They are spoken in the plural.
It's a we.
It is a collective prayer, and what he basically says here too is, again, this in this kind of confession mode as well, just like in prayers, the individual points, pratim of my life, my relationship towards God, are meaningful when they're stemming from that big picture. When I see that these are outgrowths, these are branches of this core root issue, which is, these are all the ways in which this abandonment is playing out. These are all the ways in which I need to come closer to you. But the core, the main thing, the one line I'm saying, no matter what words I'm saying, is, God, why did you leave me? Come back, bring me back. That's his, that's what he says about that. And then the last thing we read is he says, based in the Zohar that he quoted in the Tikkunei Zohar, that there's one category of people, the Tikkunei Zohar says, who, despite the mother bird being shooed from the nest, they continue to be attached to her. They're still attached to her. They're still connected to the Shekhinah, even in exile, and those are called the masters of Razei Torah, of the secrets of Torah. And what he says is, well, it sounds like something that is only pertinent to some elite, very unique group of people. He says, our task is to become those people tuned into the secret of Torah to whatever degree we can. To whatever way each one of us, that is our gateway, that's the place where we need. That's what it means to have an opportunity or even a possibility to still connect with God and be together with God in exile, and not exiled from God in exile. If we're both in exile, we might as well be together. So he says there's a chance for that, and that's where we got to, basically. Just one more thing he said that's important for the next piece we're going to read is that he starts developing this idea that Yisrael is the Tikkunim. Again, the Tikkunei Zohar rearranges the letters of Yisrael and says Shir El. Israel is the song of God. It's God's song. And he's starting, I'll read just some of that last paragraph. This is one up from where I pointed you that we're going to read. Okay? He says that God, this is from Tehillim, sits upon the praises of Israel. And Israel are God's throne of glory. The people of Am Yisrael are God's throne. This spark of Hashem's holiness is shining, is sparkling in them, and we are the ones who uncover God's presence in this world. That's why the Zohar says that Yisrael is the word Shir El, the song of God. Zeu Yisrael gadlut Hashem kedushato mitgadel al yedeihem le'olam al yedei shemin otzeit behem hem megalim oto. כמו שאומרים תתערך וצלת השרון לשיר בכל נעים ובבחינת כנסת ישראל. So this is the Rebbe's already moving us into what does it look like to be among these Razei, the people of Razei Torah, the Mare Razei Torah, people connected to the secrets of Torah. There's a way in which God needs us in this world. It's not just this kind of God could care less, and here we are, these needy little creatures saying, oh, bring us back, bring us back, bring us back. But that God's presence in the world is dependent on our ability to uncover it and reveal it to the world. We're that song. God has no song in the world without us. So there's another degree of connection that's not only present, maybe even in a latent way, but is necessary to be real, to be actualized. Okay, let's read it. Let's read now, and we'll see where it goes. So זה החילוק. גם השמיים מספרים כבוד אל מעשה ידיו מגיד הרקיע. There's a difference here between being God's song and what it says in Tehillim, that the heavens speak of or tell of God's glory, and God Maseh Yadav Magid Yarakia, right? The firmaments, the sky tells of God's actions, of God's creation. Aval rak misaprim umagidim. As glorious as that sound, that the heavens are telling of God's glorious wonders in the sky, the Rebbe says, all they're doing is talking about it. They're just telling us about. As if one person is telling a story that they heard, or some, let me tell you something that happened. They're only communicating about the story because, oh, I know about this thing that happened, let me tell you about it. Yisrael hu shir el, but Yisrael is shir el, is the song of God. Lo ma'aseh shehaya be'zman. Not some story that once happened. Not telling about an event or even a other reality. And also not turning to another to tell some story. Even sitting in an individual sitting in utter privacy, can be speaking true praises. Just to follow what he's saying here, he's setting up a contrast here between what it means to be God's son and what it means to say, you look at the heavens and they tell you about how glorious God is. But telling about is different than being the son. And expressing the song yourself. Okay, let's keep going. We're not talking about stories here. The person, the individual, each one of us ourselves, our deeper core identity is God's praise, is Tehillat Hashem. It is God's praise. It's not showing you something that you will then, it's not even about you. This isn't even about me talking to you.
Can we turn off the
Yeah, sure. This isn't about people telling one another about some other.
Thank you.
About some other entity or reality or hear the story, right?
We become the song. We are the song.
And in very simply, what he's saying is, what it means that Yisrael are here to uncover God's presence and godliness in the world. It's not that we're here to tell the world about God. It's that God is we're here for God to be expressed through each one of us. That's what he's saying. Ata hitnotzet bo kedusha v'nafsho mitpa'elet u'megale ota v'gam la'atzma megale ota. So if I'm sitting by myself and there's something that arises in me, so that is that spark, that latent, godly core piece of my soul that's aroused, awakened in me. And when that's shining and being uncovered, so it's even being shown to itself. It's something, it's this inner revelation. Mitchila haya bo rak nitzotz. At first, maybe it was just a small ember, a spark. Ukshemedaber ve'omer tilot Hashem mitgadem mitrochev b'kibo. But when we start to speak God's praises, so that spark becomes uncovered, revealed. It expands within us. Ad shekol gufo mitpa'er, to the point where our entire body can be activated, ubatel eleha, given to that revelation. V'nichlal b'kedushat Hashem shenitgalta, and be completely subsumed in that godly holiness that's been revealed here. There's some kind of act of revelation that we're called on to participate in. And again, not even to tell somebody else that, but to experience. And if somebody else happens to hear what this person is going through and also gets kind of aroused by that, and they also become attached to that, that's so great. It's like if you're at shul and somebody's like, davening, gets really inspired and that kind of lifts you, wonderful. But if there's no one else, halev shomeh. The heart itself is hearing this praise. Umitpa'el hu be'atzmo, v'la'atzmo gila. And we can arouse ourselves and reveal that to ourselves. This is important. Whether or not anybody else hears it, this is what it means for holiness to be increased in the world. If I'm alone in my and just have this experience all by myself, this is what it means to bring godliness to the world.
That's the power.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because we are going into part of ourselves, and it affects the immediate surroundings, whether anyone else is there or not.
Mm-hmm. And on some level, the surroundings isn't what defines it, right? It's touching the place itself that is the primary revelation. And if that spreads in any direct or indirect way, reverberates, great. But as carriers of revelation, that is revelation. That is revelation. I'm not going to open it, but I saw another piece of Derech HaMelech that just completely blew me away over Shabbos, where the Rebbe says something somewhat similar. He says, these are like the words he uses. I'm God's Har Sinai. I'm God's Gan Eden. I am that place of God's revelation. That's what he's talking about. Right? Again, he's showing us what does it mean to be Mari Razetor? What does it mean to be somebody who's stepped inside of that hidden realm? So, without getting too kind of lofty here, one simple thing he's saying is that you could sit there and say Tehillim. You could sit there speaking to God. You could sit there meditating. You could sit there singing, and you're, awakening, waking up like that. That's it. That's what we're talking about. It's getting in touch with, wow, God is here. Connecting with God and love. Okay, stay simple. L'mashal yesh echad shemis'av l'sim sense. L'mashal. So, for example, yesh echad shemisaper maaseh sheyesh or gadol. Somebody comes and starts telling you about this great light. Yesh mi shemevi et ha'or ba'atzmo. But then there's somebody who brings the light itself. Ad shekol echad mitpa'el. The difference between somebody who tells other people about some light that exists somewhere and a person just walks and brings the light themselves. Hashamayim rak misaprim sheyesh el gadol v'nora. The skies, and I think here it's not just Hashamayim means it's heaven. What heaven can do, heaven can tell that there is a God, a great and powerful God. V'kevan sherak misaprim v'rak pu'ula mipu'ulat Hashem mar'im sheha'pu'ula rak misaperet u'mar'eh sheyesh kel gadol. So since what all that heaven is doing, all the sky is doing, is telling of God's actions and showing, look at this wonderful thing that the Creator did. Everyone in the world sees sees the sky, sees what the sky is telling. Everyone in the world can look up and see this beautiful, wondrous thing that God has done. מכל מקום ישנם חוטאים שאינם נכנעים חס ושלום להשם ואינם מבנים אותו. But lo and behold, people can look at the sky all day and still go ahead and do the most heinous things. Like it's not enough to just be told about it, to get us in touch with really feeling God's presence. It's not enough that there is a heaven. Reminds me of the Arizal says that looking at the sky helps strengthen your Shema. Helps you listen to the awe. And it's kind of he's saying it helps strengthen. Here the Rebbe is saying it doesn't stop people. It doesn't really attach people.
Well, use it the way you would sing. Or
Seder, if you're engaging in it consciously.
To bring inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
In of itself, though, that's not
not
bad.
It's about exactly. It's a step removed. V'ish Yisrael lo ma'aseh mesaper sheyesh or, right? But an Ish Yisrael, somebody of the soul of Israel, isn't telling a story that there is this light. Rak et ha'or be'atzmo u'kedushat elokuto megavim. But rather the light itself and God's holiness they're revealing. It's that spark, that holy spark that's shining within them that they're bringing out, expanding and uncovering. Okay. And the angels, when it comes, so we talk about heaven. Heaven talks about look at the awesome stuff God has done. Now we get to the angels. The angels say, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Lo pu'ula shel Hashem she'asa kach v'kach, o she'echol la'asot, right? The prayer of the angels isn't, let me tell you about the awesome stuff God can do or has done. Ein medabrim mishum pu'ula b'shiratam. It's not about an action. Okay? Rak al etzem Hashem yitbarach. Hem omrim mashu hu. They're speaking about God's essence. They're just describing this is what God is. Kadosh, Kadosh. Right? We also, in our tefillot, not only do we imitate the prayer of the angels, we say that that's what we're doing. When we say the Kedusha, we're like, the angels do this, and we're going to do this now too. Right? So when we engage in that, or when we're saying Baruch et Hashem Barach, you just listen to those words. Blessed is God, the Blessed One. I'm not talking about anything other than a direct description of God being God. Yeah? What is God's blessing that I'm speaking of? What is God's praise? There's no story that I'm talking about. It's the essence of God's greatness that's being expressed by us when we say those words. All we're saying is, this is what God is. This is who God is. Shehu kadosh, hu mevorach. Right? Simply stated. God is kadosh, God is mevorach. The kadosh tefillah it's repeated 3 times. Gimel pamim kadosh. Ki כשמספרים רק גדולתו על ידי הפעולות. אז כשרוצים להוסיף עוד שבח, צריכים לספר עוד מעשה אחרת שיש בה גדלות ופלא אחר. If I was telling you stories about, let me tell you how awesome God has got this, and God also did this, and I'd have to kind of keep coming up with other stories to illustrate for you how powerful this God is. מה שאין כן אם לא פעולות רק עצם קדושה, לא מעשה שיש אור מספרים. It's not the case when we're talking about the essence of holiness. I'm not telling you about a story. I'm not telling you there is a light. רק את האור בעצמו מביאים. I'm bringing the light to you. אז בדיבור הזה בעצמו, שכופלים שוב. So in this utterance itself, when it's just repeated over and over and over again, אור ועוד יותר, אור ועוד יותר נתגלה בכל פעם. There's a light, and then more light, and then more light that's just being revealed each time that I just repeat that word. Because saying Kadosh saying Baruch, I'm just expressing some piece of godliness. I'm not telling you something else about it. ואף כשאיש ישראל אומר האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא השם תורה הפעולות, and even when we say the words in the Amida, that God is gadol, gibor, הנורא. So that sounds like we're describing ways in which God acts, right? God acts with greatness. God is very mighty. It sounds more like the pu'ula that heaven describes, right? The action. Let me tell you about. So what that's about, it's not about knowing that there is a God by seeing how powerful God is. It's not what he was describing about the heavens, telling you a story about God. וכיוון שאנו בעשייה, ואלוקותו יתברך נתגלה בעשייה על ידי מידותיו יתברך, גדולה, דיבור, תפארת, ימין ושמאל ואמצע. לכן אומרים, הקהל הגדול הגיבור ונורא. But it's rather because we are standing in the world of manifest reality, of asiyah, in a world that God acts through. And that is how God is being revealed. The midot of God, those godly qualities. Right? Again, make it simple. Everybody's making a distinction here between talking about something that is other or distant, as opposed to expressing something that is present.
And it's because we're experiencing.
Because we're experiencing it, and it's because we're speaking the thing itself.
Yeah.
And when I speak the words Gadol Gibor Norah, I'm expressing the way that, verbally expressing the way that God expresses God. Or revealing. Yeah. There's I remember a Torah that Reb Shlomo shared with me once on the bench by their house. But, he said he saw in one of the Polish svarim in Zershon that when we say Gadol Gibor Venora, that Avraham comes to stand by us, Gadol, right? Gibor Yitzchak comes to stand with Nora, Yaakov comes to stand. But the activity of this expression, it's not a description about. An active unfolding. Right, because you brought it up, these guys. When we say these words, we're not talking about when we say Hashem is Hakel Gadol, just let that touch you, let that affect you. Just sit with God's Gadolness for a while. When you say Gibor, let you feel that. The Norah. These are the midot of God as they're expressed in the manifest physical world that we live
That's what I already talked about in chapter review.
in.
How to really
But
use
the Amida
that.
is a meditation.
Yeah.
This is what it means for God's midot to be revealed. The Ikara Kavanah, now listen what he says here. Ikara Kavanah, what's my real Kavanah when I'm saying these words? It's to express, to attach to the infinite quality that's revealed through these particular midot of vastness, of infinite power, of tiferet, of it all being held together, beauty. That the Ein Sof, the infinite, is expressed through each one of these. And when I say those words, and when I meditate on them, and when I think about these things, when I express this, really what I'm aiming at, my kavanah is to touch the infinite core inside of this, the infinite that's being expressed through that. Listen to this. L'ha'ant Hashem Elokah. This sounds like a language you can to the you that is on the inside. I say God is Gadol, but I'm not limiting myself to this great, mighty God. I'm recognizing how the infinite is expressed in my reality, and I'm looking to touch and connect with that you who is inside of that. The you who's behind. And the you who's behind the Gibor, the you who's behind the Norah. Right? In a sense, this is not so different from what he was saying before. That when I'm doing tshuva, I'm not talking about I did this wrong and I'd like to do this better and I keep messing with stuff. But I'm doing the whole tshuva is all God, don't be this, don't let me be abandoned. And so whether it's in the mode of that kind of tshuva, whether it's in the mode of prayer and connecting with the different midot of God, it's all the you who is inside of it that I'm looking. V'ha'ihu shakya the ilana. So this is also language from the Tikkun Ezra. The one who's the watering source of the tree. Like imagine you go to a tree. I was like, oh, beautiful pears. I love pears. This is a pear tree. When we call it a pear tree, we're really just saying this is a pear, right? We're just relating to what I ate and tasted. Okay, well, it's a tree also. There's a tree behind the pears. I can actually pay attention that there's a tree there. But the more I look more deeply into it, there's roots to the tree. There's a whole network of roots. There's an entire forest here. There's a source of water that gives the tree its life, that animates and gives vitality. That there is no tree without the source of water. And so what the Rebbe is doing here, he's trying to guide us to. We're at this. On one hand, we are relating through particular vessels, through particular words, through particular experiences. But in each one of them, there's guys. Look for the hidden pool of water. That's the love of that. Look for the you who is inside of it. That's the infinite you. V'chol ma'aseh ish ve'avodato la'Hashem min tirot Hashem hu. Everything that a person does, all of a person's service of God, they are forms of praising. They are forms of this kind of the praise of God isn't just talking about, no, the praise of God is not being expressed through you. Why would somebody want to learn, Mara and Ezekiel about oxes and cows who are hurting each other, how much you have to pay, you have to pay this much, and what happens? There's some other matter of Torah that has nothing to do with what I do in my life. Why is a person drawn, motivated to just learn Torah for the sake of, it's Torah? Why would somebody be doing that? It's because a person is thirsting for that infinite greatness of God, for that infinite holiness of God, and wants it to be expanded and made more. We want it to be revealed. I want to be more aware of that. It's not because I'm getting something out of it. It's not because that happened to my child last week, so I need to figure out what is the owner told me. So here, this is like the yesod in all of the Western Torah, is that it's not enough to just dryly go through the motions. Just routinely kind of like go through the steps here. The whole purpose here is for that inner, not only inner longing, but that inner identity, the sheer el, to be uncovered. Here, how does that happen? We need to put in the effort. We need to try to be awakened by it. We need to try to be activated by it. We need to try to be touched by it. Anything that I'm engaged in, it's not just that I need to be excited that I'm doing a mitzvah, because again, that also can just play into my religion game. Show myself how good I am at religion. No, my hitorut, my awakening has to be because I'm connecting to the you who is inside of it. ודענתי מלכיו. לא ששומע שיש אור וקדושה ומתפעל ומתענג. Not just that I hear that there is a light, that there is holiness, and I'm it gives me pleasure. רק ניצוץ קדושה מתלהב בו. But for that spark, that holy spark to be a flame, a fire within me. לא מבאי בשעה שאומר קטע קדושה וברוך הוא שמדבר רק מהשם. It's not just when I'm saying those specific prayers of Keter, of Kedusha, of Baruch Hu, where I'm speaking directly with God. אלא גם כשמספר תהילות השם ממעשיו, כוונתו לאין סוף שמתגלה במעשים אלו. But even when I'm talking about, my talking about has to also be an outgrowth of the infinite one being you. Yes. And the particulars have to be revelations of God. They can't just be these little scattered. About? Right. It's not a course that you finish the credits and now you're done. Hashem Yitbarach Hu Kel Mistater. And God is called the God who hides. Hu B'chinat Ben Mechapes B'din Zeh D'Malka. The person who's describing here is like a child who's searching through the Din Zeh D'Malka, the king's hidden treasure house. You imagine the child of the king going through, Abba's treasure. Mahu mechapes. What is the child seeking? It's a melech ba'atzmo. All the more so. So whenever this is again what he's saying is any of the things that we're doing, need to be like a child. The child looking. I don't know that this is what he means exactly, but which is something that an association is like, what do you mean that a child is looking for the king? You know where the king is. The king's sitting on the throne somewhere. Why am I looking at the treasures? Did you ever either actually do this or want to, go through the stuff when you were a kid? You want to uncover who is this person? Like, who's that mysterious identity behind the person who I call father, mother? Who are they in themselves? Right? When you look in the king's hidden stuff, you find out, what is the king like? What was the king like as a kid? You hear the image that was bringing up? Like, so we do the mitzvot, we're doing avodah. These are our ways of finding out, not just that there is a God, but who is this God? I want to know who you are. I want to know who you are. Not enough to just be told that you exist somewhere, sit in there. I want to uncover who this hidden identity.
It's so free. Is that just this piece of dirt could be the problem? It's a bit much. He talks in Okiat Aleph about how complete mitzvot, the way they go in, they go in. Right. And it's like, what's the difference between Tikiyat Shofar and Yom Kippur and sitting down to the Seder Pesach? If we're not aware within and experiencing, like you said, co-revealers, then it's not only the small matters that go unnoticed, it's complete mitzvot.
Right. It all becomes lost.
It all becomes lost.
Revolving doors. So now he's taking it one step further. ואיש ישראל שהוא בחינת מחשבה ואצילות, שיהיו וחיו יחד בהם, יש ייחוד יותר עליון, ייחוד של קריאת שמע. And for an Ish Yisrael, this is his term that he always uses. He doesn't say a Jew. He doesn't talk about a religion. That's an Ish Yisrael. It's a phrase that we see a lot in his writing and maybe not. But a person of Yisrael, a person who is of this soul identity, Israel. Who is Machshava, Bechina Machshava B'Atzilut. Chazal says Yisrael Alu B'Machshava Tchila, that the source of Yisrael is, whatever this means, existing in God's thought, in that place of Atzilut, in that place that is internal to God's own self. She'iyu v'chayu ichad b'ham, the Zohar says that God and God's identity and God's life are all integrated as one in that place. Yesh yichud yoter elyon, there's an even higher place of coming together, of unity, yichud shel Piaseczna, which is higher than Kadosh, which is higher than Baruch Hu, which is higher than those kinds of searches through the mitzvot. There's what's called the yichud of Piaseczna. וכשבא האיש ישראל לקריאת שמע, שומר שם אחד, שאחדותו הוא כמו שאומרים בפתח אליהו חד ולא בחושבן. When we come to Kriyat Shema and we say Hashem Echad, the Echad of Shema is described in the Petach Eliyahu, Chad v'lo b'chushpan, one, but not a one of number. Antu ilah al kol ilahim, you are the higher than all other elevations. Stima al kol stimim, concealed from all concealment. So what happens in that place of that kind? What does it mean to touch the place where we derive from in God's own inner mind, identity, being, which has no, it's completely concealed, completely beyond anything else? There's nothing. There are no words for that. Gam kadosh eno omer. You can't say, oh, God is this. There is nothing to talk about. Rak echad v'day. All we can say is that. It's as if to say that, it's as if he's saying echad is not a statement about God. It's the place we get to and then you just stop. Hey, listen. Look at the words. Shema Yisrael. Listen, Yisrael. Right? Turning us to be attentive to that inner quality, that identity of Yisrael, which is the Shir El. So listen, turn inward, and touch Yisrael. Hashem, Elokeinu, Hashem. That is the place of Echad. V'day, and then you get there and there's nothing to say. V'zeh ha-remez b'Hakdama Tikkun Ezra. Hold the Kriyat Shema Dibur D'Tzlot. The Tikkunim there talk about, compare or speak kind of on parallel tracks, the voice of Kriyat Shema and the speech of Kriyat. Okay? As you know, we say a lot of words. Kriyat Shema, we say a few words, when we get to Echad next time. But rather, there's a voice. What parallels the word, the speech of Tefillah is the voice of Shema. What is going to be called the voice? Pitzlota megale et achduto yedei diburim. Ovdot u'pulot u'bala ha'ant milagav. In prayer, we're uncovering God's oneness through speaking. Through all sorts of different things and actions and activities and facets, and that's where we come into the you that is inside of us. The you of healing, the you of blessing, the you of redemption, the you of understanding. ובקריאת שמע שאומר אחד, אי אפשר להרחיב בדיבורים, but when בקריאת שמע you say אחד, you can't go on top of it. גם את הדיבור קדוש אי אפשר לומר. You can't even say God is holy. הדיבור מעולם הוא, מהעולם הוא. Speech is from the world. ולכל עם יש לו דיבור ולשון שלו. Every nation, every people, they have their way of speaking, they have their language. והוא, but this person is Yisrael ki amar echad, who says echad she'eno milvado, which is a statement of none other, nothing else. En olam. No. And even the self has been completely given. You see that in that. The soul is given. So there's no you there, there's no world there. V'decha. Uvama yotziv yarchiv et hakdusha shenitnotet akavod. So if this whole thing he's been talking about is that what it is, conduits for God's revelation. So when you get to a place where okay, you're somehow subsumed in a oneness, and there's no world there, and there's no speech there, and there's not even such a you there. How are you supposed to bring that out? How are you supposed to reveal something there? What does that kind of revelation look like? It looks like it sounds like everything's folding inward. Rak hakdusha k'moshi, v'hanefesh k'moshi. What the revelation is at that point is holiness as it is, the soul as it is. What he means there is, if you touch an experience of God, of Kedusha, of Achdut in Kriyat Shema, and what it means to touch a place of God, who we are in that moment is the revelation. The experience of that moment that has no other words and no other descriptions to it, that we can't speak of, that is the revelation. Hanefesh k'moshi. V'koreh b'kol u'marich kol Shema Yisrael u'marich be'echad. Hold the Kriyat Shema k'moshi b'tiknei zar. He seems to be saying something else, which is you have no words like it. It's just this voice. It's just this inarticulate, the voice of Kriyat Shema. U'marich be'echad, Chazal says, make the echad long. You know what it sounds like to make the echad long, by the way? How do you expand the letter Dalet? Try it. What does it sound like? You're screaming the unspeakable revelation. You're expanding that which cannot be spoken. Right, or so some people say, that might be the more accurate. But even that, it's a. You start with the voice, right? You have to hear yourself say Shema. Chazal says you have to hear Shema. It's listening. It's an active listening. Active listening. Yeah, you listen to what you're saying. There has to be a voice there. But then when you're marich be'echad, you go from a voice. You basically say, you basically express a voice that is not about the words. You get to the point where even the voice is exhausted. That's the sound of revelation. V'hu b'chinat razei Torah. This is what already been. This is what it means. Razei. This is what it means, a secret. A holy secret, a secret. It's an encounter. It's something that you can't speak of. V'hasod ba she'ein legalato b'dibur. You have come upon the secret that can't be revealed through speech. Af lo ba'amirat kadosh. Holy doesn't mean it. There's nothing to say. Nachzor le'imenu. Says now, let's return to our. What were we talking about anyway? Hatshuva she'hayish Yisrael shav lo tiyal chet zeh v'zeh b'chad. When a person is trying to come back to God, the tshuva isn't only about this sin and that thing, this mistake. Ki zot hi b'chinat chatzif alay mami mefarish chatzif. This is chutzpah to speak about your sins. Rak sheyashuva lahaziva shelo yal cheshchot bichlal. Rather, a person's tshuva has to be on their being abandoned by God and on all the darkness and God's thing. Asher b'sibata pagam b'tzei. Because it's because of that. Anything else that I did that's damaged goods here, it's all that because where does shoot away? Because the Shekhinah isn't revealed right now. I've been exiled. Just want to come back to the sentence. To do tshuva about our sins is chutzpah. So you said before it's chutzpah because it's as if you think you're a tzaddik except for like these specific things. But I think it's a chutzpah to yourself too. Chutzpah because it makes us so small.
Compromises the of the gut root
Yeah.
of that sense of awareness.
The enormity of not only here, it's like I think the chutzpah here is against my own soul. It's chutzpah to sit there saying that all I really have to aspire to is to stop making mistakes. I'm erasing the true identity of my soul as God's place of revelation, Son. I'm vanquishing the soul by saying I'm just a random mistake, and hopefully I can do better. And even if I perfect all those actions, but I'm detached from the you, so there's no me there. There's no soul. There's no living entity there's no life shared with God that I participate in. I can be a very good soldier and do all the right things. But this is much more important than being good was and good. Something much bigger that we're here for. There's seeking the treasures. I'm ignoring the treasure I'm talking about. Now we get to this thing. Whose job is it? Anu mivakshim hashivenu, Hashem omer shuvenu. So we say to God, God bring me back. God bring me back. And God says to us, you come back. Yeah. It's a great conversation. It's a song. The truth is both are right. They're both correct. Ha'ikar lo charata al davar zeh v'zeh bilvad. The main thing, it's not about regret over this thing and that thing. Rak lashuv b'chol atzmutenu l'Hashem. It's about coming back, restoring our complete self. Rotzim anu liyot Yehudim ma'at. We want from this moment on to be Yehudim. Clothing al Hashem, close to God. But we can't do it alone. Like he's speaking out now. This dialogue between God saying, you come back, and us saying, I want so much to be close to you, but I really can't do it by myself. But once I start, please God, I need your help. With Soakim, Eli, Eli, Lama Zaftani, make Korban Bekamikdash. From the time of the destruction of the temple, we experience God, my God, why did you? Gam b'chol Hashana ha'ish Yisrael shav. Now we're getting to Rosh Hashana. What impacts Rosh Hashana? All year round, we did tshuva. Tshuva is a constant mitzvah. Aval az ha'ish be'olam shel ovdo d'pulot shakor. But you know what? All year round, we're stuck in a context of a world of actions and behaviors and doings. V'rakol pu'ula pagam v'chet la'atzmo margish. Because that's our context throughout the year, so we relate to all those, I can't believe I did that thing. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm living in a world of individual actions. Masha'en came before Rosh Hashana. It's not the case when Rosh Hashana comes along. Shashem yavo b'mishpat ha'komelan. This is quote from the last pasuk in Kohelet. And it's all related to Rosh Hashana that God comes to judge all that is hidden. All year round, live in a world of actions. Those things that I can look at and talk about and do. And Rosh Hashana, God is coming to judge the hidden. Al hanelam daika, specifically on that which is hidden. God isn't just coming to evaluate, only coming to evaluate the things that are done, revealed, right? The revealed matters are things that we are ours. We know them. We can talk about them. We can look at them. But the hidden matters are those are the things that God is invested in. Gamal etzem nafsho. Like God is coming on Rosh Hashana to meet the hidden us, the soul. Moshe mashma migmar Rosh Hashana. Shanu omrim Adam nidon Rosh Hashana. The pasuk v'tifkedenu l'bkarim l'grim tifchanenu shemashma shadim b'choyim l'rega. I'm going to read this fast and just kind of summarize it to get. Raki yuni ba'almahu v'perish Rosh Hashanah bodek v'masah. Rosh Hashanah is talking about the judgment. It's saying, it says Adam nidon Rosh Hashanah. Person is judged. But then they bring a pasuk and say, well, what do you mean? It says that God checks people out every morning. Oh, what do you mean? It says that a person is judged at every moment. So they say, oh no. The day to day, Rashi says, Bodek b'masad. It's not a true judgment. It's a simple check-in. God is looking over things, sort of leafing through. Bodek b'masad. Check it out. What did this person do? But it's not a Adam Nidon Rosh Hashanah. That was nice. B'chol Hashanah rak b'masad bokim. All year round, God is just kind of checking out. Okay, exactly. V'gam ha'ish rak al ma'asav ha'pratim shav. And us too. Our tshuva of the whole year is just about, okay, this thing is off. You see, I messed up. Okay, I feel really bad about that. What happened? Ma she'en kin b'Rosh Hashanah hadin al ha'adam ba'atzmo. The din of Rosh Hashanah is on the person himself. Like Adam nidon Rosh Hashanah. Action. It's not the actions that are judged. It's the personhood. It's the self. It's the Adam. Right. That's Hashem is coming al kol ne'elam to that hidden identity. V'az etzem ha'ish nitgale gam lo le'atzmo v'kirba. And when God comes to when the person is judged, so the essence of a person is revealed. Our essence is revealed to us too.
How does it come back to what you started with about
The moon being covered.
and,
The moon being covered. We're about to get to. He didn't touch shofar yet.
okay.
We're going to get to shofar soon.
Okay.
But the moon being covered is the malchut being darkened. Is the Shekhinah being absent. The Rosh Hashanah is dafka. We're blowing the shofar. It's dafka, a time of the self becomes revealed on this day. There's such a meeting of the hidden coming out into the open for this being exposed, the essence being exposed, specifically at the time when the mother bird was shooed away. The moon being dark in that time is the time when the malchut is hidden. And the malchut is in the Jewish Sfarim, in the Kabbalistic Sfarim, we talk about Rosh Hashanah, the Hetzkufa, this in Tishrei, through Sukkot and the holidays, of the malchut being built. We're building the kingdom. But the kingdom is built. It's like, okay, it's dark outside. Dark outside. Let's find each other in the dark and start to talk. Right? Let me find where I'm going to come out of hiding to meet you coming out of hiding. And this, the Rebbe is saying, it's dafka. He's going to say this more, but dafka in that place where it's dark on the outside. Right? The moon is covered. I can't look, and no one can point to me, oh, that's God's palace. This is God's will. It's not just shown to me externally. It's actually not, it's specifically not shown to me externally. The place to be encountered is internal. Because the moon is covered. So the din of Rosh Hashana exposed. So far what we're seeing, the din is God is interested in who are you for real? Let me come see you, and we get to see ourselves. What happens when our soul is shown to us, when we get to like really look and see who we are, where we are, what we are? At that point, we also get to actually truly see and feel how dark it is for us, how much we've been. It's not just about we don't even do viduim Rosh Hashana. We don't talk about sin. We don't talk about sin in Rosh Hashana. It's not part of the liturgy. It's not part of the ritual. Right? It's not what we do. Okay. No, Yom Kippur, Slichot before, Slichot after. Not on Rosh Hashana. Rocket at smoke. What is it that you're seeing? Seeing yourself through man's life. See, you've been abandoned. The Shav Kulo Rashem. And our response, our tshuva of Rosh Hashana is to come back to that within ourselves. It's returning to the base of all of it, the source of all of it. That's where we start our year. We start our year by going to the place where, not about what I did, what I didn't do right now. It's being able to see the core of my distance from God, to feel that lack, that aziva, the abandonment, and to the response of tshuva, the only response of tshuva that's authentic, is to want to bring ourselves back, and not dealing with the pain. And if we are thinking about or feeling the pain of the pratim, it's only because they're in this greater context of how distant and dark. We don't want this. We can't bear anymore that identity.
And that's such an implication to how we live. We tend to focus so much on the external performance of one particular action. The more actions we amass in the course of the day, the more religious we are. And this runs contrary to that.
I can say so many things about all of these that I'm trying to like keep it. I'll just say one thing here that just in response to, there's a natural instinct to say, well, if you want to be holier, so you should be more stringent and go above and beyond the halacha. But the language in the Sikei Halacha, Bal Nefesh Yachmir. Who is somebody who should be who is, for whom it's appropriate? Tekamon is a Bal Nefesh. It's somebody who's literally means they own their soul. They know they really are truly tuned into the soul that is then thirsting and yearning when it's appropriate for that peace. But to just say, I'm distant from God, I want to feel holy, so I should do all these things, it's missing the soul. Right? And that's what he's saying here. The behaviors and the actions are important in as much as they're part of that, the totality or the self in a deeper way, seeking out the self of God in a deeper way. That's why they're important. But if I'm just kind of going around talking about all these small things, I'm missing both of us. I want to read on because I want to get to the end of this so we can hear the shofar. He's going to now start to answer those questions from the beginning. Shadina the Rosh Hashana minar dino or veitovim mishnadim. Why now was the Zohar saying that the judgment of Rosh Hashana is the place where souls go to the mikvah in this river, that they're being cleansed and purified from their dirt. Lo din shel kas v'shalom. The din is not God isn't angry with us in Rosh Hashana. Rak tahara. The din is a process of purification. V'lo kibus shel ketem v'zeh upagam zeh bilvad. And it's not merely an act of, stain sticking the particular misdeeds and flaws. Rak beit tov v'nishmatim. In Rosh Hashanah, in the din of Rosh Hashanah, that is the place that our soul is in. So it's a day of soul immersion. That's what the din is, right? Again, he defined the din before. God coming to meet us where we come out of hiding, where the self is exposed. That's din. That is din. It's not, I'm not looking at your small little actions. I'm not checking out what did you do right, what did you do wrong. I want to see you. And when we truly are exposed, so we're exposed in our totality, both in our glory and in our distance and darkness. And what's missing in the deeper way becomes all the more revealed to us. So it becomes a time where I just want to jump into it. Just want to immerse myself. The entire soul is immersed there. And as he explained earlier, the pshat, the simple meaning according to how he's reading the Gemara of what it means, Adam Nidon Rosh Hashana, is that the judgment is about the soul being revealed to us, ourselves being revealed to us. All year long, all we see is these individual actions. But right now, I see myself and I see that I'm disconnected. I see that I'm and this isn't only in spiritual matters. It's a physical abandonment as well. We're so distanced, so cast away. That our body feels the pain as what is described in the end of Brining, what it looks like, a world where God is completely hidden. It's a terrible existence. Now he's again ready. What he does oftentimes in his drashot is he'll talk Torah, and then he'll just start modeling for us the way that he expresses what he's talking about. Now this is what his tshuva looks like. When he feels that abandonment, when he's aware and cognizant of how detached he is. The cry now comes from the innermost place in the heart. Why do I allow myself to live in such a low place all year round? And from the greatness, from the intensity of the bitterness, comes a thirst to come close and run to God. We don't have the tshuva on a core level without feeling the pain of existence. However, if we're able to truly feel it and let that feeling reverberate, that feeling is a product of the self coming out of its cave. And the only way that we can then draw close in a deep way is to really feel that pain, because from that pain comes that thirst, that desire, that longing. What we want at that time is to come in a total way. We're not even interested anymore in 5 hours, 6. It's like that's not where we are. From this immensity of bitterness and longing. So there truly we can approach that degree of closeness which he called Razit. So the inner hidden realm. שכל כך יתקרב לקדושה שלא יוכל לעקוב לדבר. Cannot hold the creation. Become so close into holiness that the mouth cannot say it. It's like the call of Kriyat Shema, to describe the voice of Shema. To be Kriyat Shema. Now it is Tiku b'chodesh shofar v'keser yom chagenu. Eze chag shachodesh mitkaseh bo ze Rosh Hashana. Here's what you're asking. Blow the shofar in the covering of the day of our holiday. What is the holiday? When the month is covered over, that's Rosh Hashana. Halevana kanoda hi v'kana malchut shekhinah knesset Yisrael. What is the moon? The moon, according to Kabbalah, is the kingdom of God, is the malchut, is the shekhinah, is the presence of God, is Knesset Yisrael, it's all of those things he's been talking about. It's the true identity of our soul, it's the true identity of God in this world, it's God's presence, all those things that are in exile. That's the moon is dark. We come to the dark moon of Rosh Hashana. V'himit kasa, all covered over. V'china tishalech ta'en, the mother bird was cast away. We need to know this ahead of time. We need to know what we're stepping into. We need to know that we're walking into the place where the palace isn't revealed. We're stepping into a day where it's all clouded over. That's what we're going to come into contact with. And if we know, and if we can feel this abandonment, this absence, then we can truly come to that place of Shema. Shehi kol hashofar. This is the sound, this is the voice of the shofar. Mesiru nefesh. Shigam hadibo b'atzma. It's the place where the soul is given over, is surrendered. It's a surrender of our souls where speech doesn't suffice. Hashem amar tiku lefanai b'shofar shel ayo kadesh yareh zichron lechem lefanai l'tova u'marei ani alechem ki l'kabtem v'tatzmechem. Allah says in God's name, blow the ram's horn before me, so that your memory will come before me with tova, for good, and I will consider it as if you have downed yourself and given yourself to me, like Yitzchak. Right, this is the Mesirut Nefesh. God is saying, if I truly hear you, the voice of your shofar, it means that you're really giving yourself back. That's what the shofar sound meant to bring us forth. Lead us who are inside the secret of Torah. That's for God. For God to shine light into our hearts, our bodies, our souls. That's light. Huge, a lot of stuff. Also very simple.
It's the mind of someone who is deeply involved in all of the learning and the teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And, you can speak like this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can speak like this nowadays. No. That's just what I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But what can we speak of? What we can speak of is that when each one of us has a chance to truly, sincerely, honestly take a look inside and see ourselves and be exposed. We have the freedom to be exposed on Rosh Hashana. That exposure includes suffering. That exposure includes pain, of loss, of distance, of personal exiles, of a world that's not where we hope it could be, of abandonment. And from that place, he says, the opportunity that's open for us in Rosh Hashanah is to allow ourselves on these days. You know that? And from that place, with the voice that calls out to God, that's what.
So, is he saying that through prayer we come close to God? Through the prayer in Rosh Hashanah?
Well, if it's a prayer that's coming from a connection to this sense inside, that's what he's kind of been saying to us all along, is you can come through all of these different channels. You can say all these words, you can do these things, you can learn Torah, you do mitzvot. All of it is important when it's expressing the deeper longing inside of you to be attached to your source.
And what I hear in that is encouraging us to be our own discoverer of Rosé. That is
Completely.
Rather than say there's a few leaders that are Rosé Torah, and they're there and we're here, and our whole goal of Avodah is to look up to them.
Right.
Instead, he's wrote to Rabbi he uses the word ennoble. He ennobles us. He ennobles us with the capacity, yes, with the struggle, yes, with the pain of being distant. But what that allows us to do is to discover our own secrets inside of ourselves. That's our shir, and that's the covering of the moon, and that the blowing of the shofar. Us discover that.
It sounds weird probably to most people's ears, but it's a gift to have a day where you can feel how painful the distance is and the lack is in our life. And because from that place, and in this context, right, it's not just like somebody sitting there making fun of you and telling you how it's not that at all. That it's the reason we can tap into that on this day is because our greatness is being revealed to us too. And our greatness and how much of our greatness is not realized are all being revealed to us at the same time. And so we call out from that desire. That desire is what fills. That's our response to that. That is true love. That is true love. That is true love. That is the sound of the shofar. The sound of the shofar is the soul's desire to just say, I want to be close to you. I'll say like two more things. We'll stop here. Also, just one more piece, I think, practically speaking, that he's giving us as a gift here is the place where you don't have words is very precious. The experience to be standing there and to not know what to say and to not be able to say and to walk away and not be able to talk about what it was, very precious. It's part of your little secret corner with God.
Very true. Very true. I think, people who don't grow up in Jewish tradition, they have a very hard time understanding anything about God, or connecting to God at all. So the word to them, it's not meaningful. Do you know what it's saying? Because I'm just sharing this with you because of a conversation I had with a friend of mine who grew up without any kind of Judaism at all. She's Jewish, but her parents, didn't go to shul, didn't encourage, discouraged her, you know what I mean? So she was telling me how she feels very sad that she didn't get anything like that. But at the same time, she has a very hard time. As she reads the Siddur and talk about God, she can't.
I'm not sure that I would say that has to do with what you growing up with a Jewish tradition or not, because you could grow up with a Jewish tradition that also makes you very formative. Okay. You know what I mean? There's forms of Jewish tradition